That's right, guys. The time has come to evaluate the Gaussian channel strategy, which I launched 10 months ago. And the question is, did it make money for my community? If people started using that strategy when I posted that video, which I will show you, did they make money with that? And the question as well, did the automation pay off, right? Because automating strategies cost some money, right? You need to pay for some software. So did the strategy make more money than the software costs and even more to have profits? We're going to look at all of that. And as well, we're going to look at the risks of using such a trading strategy as well, because everything comes with risk reward in life. Okay, so you always have to look at the risks as well. This video will be amazing, especially as well, because at the end of the video, there is a massive surprise for you guys. I'm pretty sure you're gonna love it. So with all of that in mind, make sure to massage that like button if you like this video, and as well subscribe to this freaking channel because it's a freaking game changer. As you can see, we have 220,000 subscribers, right? So that must mean something. And by the way, thank you very much. I'm super happy about that. And as well, if you have some time later on, because I truly want to help you, okay, watch the Algo Trading Knowledge playlist, which has changed hundreds of thousands of people's lives when it comes to trading. Check it out later on. And before we get started, remember, this is not financial advice. Crypto is risky. You can lose all of your money, all right? This is educational content, when what I'm showing you is historic performance of this strategy I'm talking about, just so you see how it was working in the past. I'm not promising you future results, right? That is important because of the guidelines of this platform that we're on. And as well, I will put a disclaimer on the top of the video sometimes when I show numbers, just to remind you that I'm not promising you future results. Nobody knows the future. That's why we educate ourselves. We use trading strategies. We automate, right? We reduce the risk as much as possible. You know this, right? From watching my videos. So keep that in mind. And now get your coffee and let's get started. Let's start by talking about the performance of this strategy. So this is the Gaussian channel strategy with all of its trades since I launched it on YouTube and made it available for you guys, right? It was around here in October 2024. But can I prove it? Yes, of course. Go to my channel and verify yourself. These are the videos I posted. If you go here to the right side, you find this particular video here, how to automate the profitable Gaussian channel strategy. I mean, the strategy was online a bit earlier than that, but it took some time to make the video, right? And it was exactly launched, this video, on the 15th of October 2024, which is exactly here. And that is why as well, the settings of the strategy that I have right now, you can see it's 14th of October. It's one day before the launch so that this trade can actually happen, because that candle was on 14th and then it triggered a trade, okay? So this is the strategy with these default parameters, all right? And I will talk to you about the initial capital later, because we're going to talk about if the automation paid off, right? So we're going to play around with that as well. Okay, so those are all the trades since then. And let's see if the strategy was profitable. When you look at it with your own eyes, right, you can maybe already see that it was profitable. And the reason for that is that there was a strong uptrend, the green uptrend, and the trades were pretty much squeezing out profit in that time. It was avoiding the downtrend and then again making money in the uptrend. So it should be profitable, but let's check it out, right? So it started trading exactly here. So if you have been using this strategy since I launched it, because you were, a subscriber and you watch my videos and you don't miss out, then the first trade was 41% profit, 41.57. Congratulations to you. First of all, you're awesome because you watch my videos, but also because you made a lot of money, right? The second trade was plus minus nothing. The third one also plus minus nothing. This was actually a losing trade here. Then there was another losing trade, but it was fine because in total it was still in profit. And then it avoided this drawdown here of about 26%, which is great. This is the whole point, right? Because if it doesn't sell, then it could hold until the bottom. That's not great, right? So it has to get out. Perfect. So if this was the bear market, great, but it was not. Then we had another profitable trade starting here and ending exactly here, about 10.59%. Pretty good. Then here, plus minus nothing trade. Then another profitable trade here. Not a lot of profit, but still 3%. And then the last trade, 2%. After which the Bitcoin price broke down and now it's not clear what's going to happen next. So it should be profitable. But let's check the KPIs by opening the strategy tester and seeing the exact numbers. All right, drum roll, please. Was the strategy profitable for the community, for everyone using it since it launched? Let's check it out. 3, 2, 1. Ta-da. 51.74% profit. So yes, it was profitable. Let's go. And the max drawdown was 8.57, which is pretty good. And profitable trades was 44.44%. And the reason for that is it had a couple of losing trades up here where the trend was not sure where it's gonna go. This is of course a great result, and I'm happy about that because I can help you guys with a good strategy, a good approach to play the markets in the right way. Of course, historic performance is not indicative of future results, which you can see on the top as a disclaimer because I have to do it based on the guidelines of this platform, right? But still, what else do we have in order to analyze a strategy? We have historic data. That's what we're looking at. So it looks like this strategy produced good numbers since launch. You can also clearly see that the strategy needs some time to play out because it's a trend following strategy. It's a one-day chart, right? So why this makes sense? Because it has higher chances of success. I have a video about that and you could watch it up top. I will link it for you. I already see you kind of thinking, okay, but what if I just bought and hold, right? Would I then have more money? Let's check it out. And if you are watching this channel longer, then you know the answer to this already. But if you're new here, let me educate you. That's my goal here on this channel. So let's close this here and let's measure the buy and hold return. It was here about 68%, right? So it would be more than the strategy has squeezed out of the uptrend. And now you can say, yeah, but then I just buy and hold. Yeah, that's much better. Now, to make it quick, yes, that's the whole point of my channel, to educate you about buy and hold being horrific strategy and DCA also being a horrific strategy for crypto assets, for volatile assets like crypto, yeah? And the reason is, and I have videos for that, I will link up top another one, but very quickly, okay, so that you fully understand. Any strategy on this planet, in this entire universe, will make money on the way up, okay? Any strategy, really, it doesn't matter, even buy and hold, okay? But if that strategy is losing you all of that money again on the downtrend, then it didn't really help at all, okay? And long story, I will link a video up top that you have to watch about this topic. But just remember that what you do in the uptrend cannot be the same as in the downtrend, okay? Because in the uptrend, you can take more risk. You can buy any dip and you'll be fine. But if you buy any dip on the downtrend, you'll not be fine, right? Okay, so that is why you need a strategy that can balance this out. Now, back to the question. Would you make more money with buy and hold? In the uptrend, yes, but there will be a downtrend, which is gonna be dramatic. And the problem is that you don't know when it happens, right? Because not even here it was easy, okay? Because it actually came back. Everyone was like, okay, it's going to $100,000 Bitcoin. But then, so they bought a lot of Bitcoin, right? And then it went down, they said, buy the dip, it's fine, right? And it actually recovered a little bit by the dip and then boom, everyone was destroyed. So whoever bought in this area here lost a massive amount of money after that, right? Believing that doing what they have been doing here helps here as well, which is not the case, right? That is why, yes, the strategy, any strategy that has any sense will make less money compared to buy and hold in the uptrend, okay? If it goes up only, then you don't need any strategy, but it's not going up only, right? Okay, so that's a very, very quick summary of why buy and hold is a horrific strategy, because you need to consider up and down, not just up, okay? And also not just down, that would be unfair as well, right? So if you consider just down, then buy and hold will be horrific, which, funny enough, most altcoins, they go down and they never come back. So buy and hold, not a great idea, right? Okay, so this is just to satisfy the people who think about buy and hold or DCA. Okay, now let's talk about the automation, right? Because I'm all about automation on this YouTube channel, but I want to be transparent to you. Because in order to automate, right, I need TradingView. So I need to pay TradingView some money, right, for running the strategy and having access to the chart and all the data and stuff. And then I need to pay SIGNUM, which is my software for automation, to interpret these trading signals and to send them to your exchange. We support a lot of more exchanges. This is just a design here, okay? Okay, so you need to pay two softwares for keeping the automation running. Now let's see how much they cost. So TradingView, and this is an incognito browser, so I don't get any specific, like special prices for me, but this is really prices everyone can get. So if you go for the annual price, then you pay $14 a month, basically, right? In dollars. Okay, cool, right? And that's what you need. You need the essential plan at least, because you need to create pricing alerts. So you need that, right? So that's one of the costs per month. And then you also pay Signum, right? And Signum costs 25 bucks a month, unless you have a promotion code, which we do have very often, but still, okay? Now, considering that the strategy made 51.73% profit, was it actually paying off to automate the strategy? Well, of course it matters how much initial capital you put in there, right? Let me show you the numbers. At this point of the video, my goal was to show you an entire breakdown with what the strategy made, the cost for the automation, and then the bottom line, right? But sadly, this platform we're on took my video down, okay? Because it looked like I promised future results. It's not the case, but it's just a misunderstanding. So instead of getting banned or something, again, my goal is this. I will show you the cost only, okay? The cost for running the automation and how to think about them, right? And then if you come to Telegram, I will give the entire breakdown there as a screenshot. I'm not promising you future results, right? I'm just talking about what already happened, right? I'm just saying this for compliance reasons because it's true also. I'm talking about historic numbers. And yes, they're good numbers, and maybe that's why the video was taken down. I don't know. So the cost is very simple. 10 months of running this strategy, right, is 14 bucks a month. For TradingView, 25 bucks a month. For Signum, you arrive at this cost so far. Okay, cool. But you have another thing you can do to reduce the costs, which is simply to go for a yearly plan for Signum. Then this 25 will be less. It will be 18.75 per month. So the costs are already down at $327 to run this automation for one asset. Now, you're not going to run it for just one asset, right? Because that's not very smart, right? Because the costs are fixed costs, right? So if you run it for 10 or 25 assets, which actually you can because Signum gives you 25 trading bots if you want so, then these costs become minimal, right? They become irrelevant. And so just go and do your research, put the strategy on your chart and see for yourself which other assets you would have had and what the numbers were. I'm not allowed to show you here, but you get the idea, okay? The more automations you have, the less the automation costs matters. And that brings me directly into the risks of this strategy. Any strategy really, but let's talk about the risks of this strategy, which is, the first risk is that you simply do not execute the trading signals if you don't automate, right? So if you want to run this manually, it's going to be a bit tricky. And let me show you why that's the case. The first reason is that sometimes you get trading signals, buy or sell signals, at extremes of the chart. Like for example, you get it here, which was pretty much the bottom of Bitcoin after the FTX collapse. Like executing this signal is very, very hard mentally if you do it manually, right? And also you might put less money in there, you might buy later, so you lose part of the profits that you could have made, right? So this is a risk, okay? Like if you don't automate, and especially if the strategy has a phase where it didn't do much for a while, you get bored and then you don't even take it seriously, okay? The same is at the top, right? If you don't sell here, right, where the strategy sold, then you might lose more money than you should have, right? So, I mean, keep that in mind. Another related type of risk is that the strategy has a lot of buy and selling signals one after another, and executing those manually, it can be tricky. And if you don't follow the important ones and you don't know which one is important, so all of them are important, but if you don't follow this sell signal, for example, then you have a drawdown that you could have avoided nicely. But after like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades that didn't yield anything, you might get bored, especially if they happen very quickly, one after another. In general, trading strategies that trade a lot, they need automation. Without automation, the execution will be horrible, right? And so you're not going to get the results that you wish for. Another risk is simply that the strategy will not perform the same on all the assets. I mean, of course not, right? So on Bitcoin, it made a profit. On Ethereum, it also made a profit, as you have seen before, but on Solana, for example, it actually made a loss. And that's because Solana was a horrific asset since the last pump over here. It was just sideways. I mean, there is nothing where you can make money. But you can mitigate this problem not by having a different strategy, but by simply doing proper position sizing so that you don't put too much money in risky assets, okay? And in order to make this very easy for you to calculate, I made a video, I will link it up top, where AI built your portfolio, and as part of the process, it tells you how much money to put in based on the numbers that the strategy has produced on that asset. This is awesome. Definitely check out that video, okay? Because No strategy will be perfect on every coin that you like. That is why you need to have risk management, okay? To not put too much money in assets that have a lower chance of success. And yes, you can have better strategies that work on more coins than others, but while you're searching for that strategy, which is very hard to find, okay, that's why this one is very good already, you will miss out on a lot of opportunities, because what if it takes you years to find the good strategy, okay? Just start somewhere with this strategy, which is anyway one of the best out there that is free, okay? I mean, it's pretty easy, but then just manage your risk. So watch the video. The last thing I want to show you is how my personal strategy performed on Bitcoin in the same time frame as the Gaussian channel strategy. Was it better or worse? Let's check it out. Okay, let's remember the Gaussian channel strategy made 51% profit with 8.5% max drawdown, and my strategy, bought fast re-entry, made 67% profit with just 6.5% max drawdown and profitable trades of 75%, which is massive. If you want access to this strategy and more, consider joining the Auto Trading Masterclass, which is my baby. It has all of my knowledge in there. Make sure to watch this video here to understand what it's all about, and if it's for you, scroll down and click on these strategies and you will arrive on the strategy page where you can actually zoom in. You can see all the trades of each of the strategies I'm using, and also the strategy report with the list of trades. So you can do a lot of research before considering even to join, and make sure you do this research, because this is an invite only thing where it's limited to 1,000 people. Apply for access and make sure you have the right mindset, okay? The mindset will be explained on this website, and check the curriculum. Make sure this is for you, okay? You're gonna learn how to build a proper risk-adjusted portfolio that can withstand everything in crypto that you can imagine. You're gonna get all the templates you need. So this is really the coolest thing ever. And everyone in this course is very happy. You can check the reviews, but just want to make sure you know that this exists. And if this is for you and it's a good match, then I'd love to have you with us. There is one more thing though before we end the video. It's the surprise I mentioned in the beginning of the video. Now, what do you think I am about on this channel? I'm about automation. That's obvious. It's called Michael Automates, right? But I am about having a freaking strategy. Because without a strategy, nothing works in life, okay? You need a strategy for trading, but you also need a strategy for your job, for your life, for your family, right? For your children, for your friends even, if you want to help them. So you always need a strategy, okay? And that is why, drum roll please, we now have merch. We have caps, we have t-shirts, we have tote bags, all right? This is supposed to be fun. I don't care about the revenue, but I really like this stuff, right? Let me show you the details, because if you look closely, these are actually candlesticks, right? Bearish and bullish candlesticks on the other side. This is a limited edition one with the candlesticks. The one with the normal bars you will see on the shop, they're normal, right? They will always be available. These ones will be available only a couple of weeks, okay? Because my idea, my hope is that I see people on the street at events somewhere in a call with this limited edition on the head or on the, wearing them. I would be super happy. Obviously, I would love you, right? It would be an amazing encounter to see you with the merch. That would be awesome. And again, that's the first time I do this, so I have no idea if this works. But again, I don't care about the revenue. I care about the fun. I care about the connection, okay? So the link is down below. Go and have fun with this merch. And it's also a reminder for you that you need to stick to the plan, right? When I see this, I'm like, yeah, okay, I need to follow my strategy because I have one. All right, and now we reach the end of the video. And with all of that in mind, the best video to watch next is the one where you learn to build a portfolio with AI, okay? Because you need to understand how to take this strategy and then apply it on your entire portfolio. And for that reason, this is the next video you must watch.
Trading